Next up, we got the post shot. Go ahead and let's pick that.
Ready.
All we're going to do is going to motion in more here. And a lot of times he'll get open right away inside, certain coverages. I was hoping for him to slant inside there through a little bit earlier, but he still got open. Crossing tight ends are going to get open against a lot of things. Thomas is probably going to be your best man beater, the check down. But, it's ultimately, that drag route pulls down a lot of coverages that'll get Olsen open. So you really have those two guys, and then your check downs. All three of these routes should get open every time. Like I said, I'm trying to get that X route a little bit more. You can see, they just don't know, who to go to. These coverage linebackers, they go in between the high and the low tight ends. So you basically just got to pick whichever one they don't. It's that simple, man. Man, the longer he was in coverage, the worse it got. Let's go and let's do this again. Like I said, a lot of times, this guy typically when motioned in will get a free release, which means he'll get open pretty much, 9 times out of 10 because he's got that inside release from the cornerback. One more time. So that inside release is important. It's a big one. It's a big one. As you see right there, it's a big one. Next up, we got the PA spot. It's a really good cover 2 and man beater play. Once again, put your B route on a streak, and you can motion out your fullback, but it doesn't matter because the A route's really the play anyway. As you can see in that particular scenario, he just gets open. But if you do motion out the fullback, a lot of times he'll get open against cover 3s. Like this looks like a cover 3. And I hit the damn button like so fast, but it didn't do anything. I don't know what happened there. If you do motion out this fullback, he'll get open against cover 3s quite a bit, underneath, and against a lot of cover 2s, depending on what the outside cornerback does. A lot of times he'll drop back, but that's a nice catch and run. So this is a pretty simple play. Next up, we got the fullback dive. We said you're going to want to, have a good power back, maybe with some speed, and just hand it to him inside at the fullback position. You don't want to necessarily have your fullback here, but you definitely want to have, somebody that's a good running back. And you can see, you can get some big lanes. It's a quick play, too. It's like an instant play right up the gut. And it's just, 9 times out of 10, if you need a couple yards, you'll get it with this play. Next up, we got the halfback toss. If I could toss this play, if I could flip this play based off the fact that extra defender just dropped down, I would, but you can't. So, toss plays are kind of cheesy, so they kind of limit them sometimes. And you can see how that shuts it down. But typically, just running this play stock is a pretty good setup. You can see, speed to the edge, is all you really need. An elite back, you make a dude miss, and then you're taking a toss play to the house. And that's why, like I said, they limit the amount of adjustments you can make on a lot of toss plays. But, you can run it as is. You don't have to make any motions, but motioning out that tight end a lot of times can help. Next up, we got the PA boot flow. This play right here, make sure you want a speedy back right here at your run back spot. Motion him over to the left, and a lot of times he'll just get forgotten in coverage. Like I said, if he's athletic, he can turn up the field. You can turn that into a nice 5 to 10 yard gain every time. These tight ends, A and B, a lot of times, those are also really good options. They're really playing off the fullback. That's the whole idea. Your A and B tight end options are pretty good as well. The comeback's one of the best routes on this play. That's one, like I said, when you got your dude wide open like that, it's kind of hard not to hit the fullback when he's so wide open. That's the idea behind the play, just a simple motion, and he just gets forgotten by a lot of coverages. But if they do sit on that, a lot of times the comeback route, the comeback route is so money no matter what, whether it's man zone, whatever, it's going to be open. The comeback route's so cheese. The comeback route's all about timing. You got to hit him in his break. And a lot of times it's just, if you deliver that ball on the money, it just doesn't really matter what the defense is. You can see right there, it was like double coverage, and it just didn't matter because it's just such a cheesy play. But, like I said, 3 of these routes are really good. Obviously, the A route is really good. As you can see right here, he's just beating through, but I get sacked because I don't know what happened with the animation there. But you can see the A route was wide open. The B route's really good. You know, that's obviously when you got the A route in front of it pulling coverage. A lot of times the B route's going to be right there, trailing with no coverage. You know what I mean? You can only have so many guys in the middle. And I think I'm doing that to myself because I'm sprinting out a little bit, which is why I'm getting sacked. But you can see the A route every time I'm getting sacked, he's been open. So let's go ahead and let's do this again. Because I haven't actually hit the A route. I mean, I'm talking about him. So here we go. I don't know what that coverage was, but we're going to hit that comeback. Pretty much every time, that's your fail-safe is your comeback route. I think the RB route was open too, but I saw the comeback route just running wide open over there. So, got to go there. Like I said, I'm trying to hit this A route. I haven't hit this A route yet. There we go. Like I said, he basically, if he's not open towards the center, if the A route doesn't get open at the center of the field, you might as well just wait till you might as well just hit the X route, because at that point they're basically in the same spot. so it's, you know, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Just hit the X route at that point. If the A route doesn't, or the B route don't get open right away, then you just basically forget about them, because the comeback route is basically going to beat anyway. So by the time they get across the field, the comeback route's a better option. Next up, we have the Salem. This play here, all I'm going to do is put the RB route on a streak. I'm sorry, on a slant. I can motion over McCaffrey if I want. You can see it'll create a little bit more space for the slant, because that's really the route that I'm going for. As you can see, he just comes open underneath the pulling streak. Which, you know, that's really one of the big plays. But if you don't, I mean, like right there, I mean, the streak, you're really going streak or slant. Those are your two biggest options. And then McCaffrey is the check down. You also have the B route there is a pretty good one as well. You know, a lot of times this is a quick hitting route. I tried to squeeze it in, obviously it didn't work. But yeah, this is definitely, you know, these are your best options. And then right here, I actually think this route over here too would be better as a comeback route, because now I have a really good man beater, a really safe man beater play, and it doesn't really get into the you know, the rhythm or the timing of any of these other throws. So I always have that as like a safety blanket. So we got one more time. And like I said, comeback route. You know, the spacing's still perfect, so didn't mess with that at all. Okay, we're going to do that. I can make the motion the same way. I said I can tell the motion's probably going to be there. You know what I'm saying? I got to take that instant shot. You know what I'm saying? So that's, to me, a really good play. And last but not least. So next up, out of the single back wide trips, we have the PA zone shot. This is a cover 4 beater. This play takes really no adjustments at all. You just want to buy time. I did that by running. And you can see how I just throw it up over the coverage for a touchdown right there. So basically, if you want to, you can put Samuel on a drag, so you give yourself a high-low series of checkdowns. You know, like I said, you don't, just in case you don't have the time or you want to attack a different area of the field. But this is a one-play touchdown. If you choose the wrong coverage, I should say, that if you pick this to be a cover 4 and the guy comes down to cover 3, then obviously you're going to want to hit one of these other routes. But realistically, you can hit the one-play touchdown with these adjustments, just as is. I get sacked on this last play. But you want to be close to the line of scrimmage, because this is like a 60-yard ball you're throwing here. So I'm just going to wait for this cornerback to cross that side there, and then I'm just going to outrun the coverage. So, like I said, real easy play. One of my favorite cover 4 beaters. You have a lot of options with the drag and with the RB route, just in case you pick it against the wrong coverage. But it's all about timing. It's all about timing when you throw it over this safety. I said I'll go ahead and I'll show the route. You're essentially just waiting for him to cross this. Once he gets inside this safety, you're just throwing it. This is when you throw it, you know, over in the direction that he's going, pass lead it, and to just run to the ball. And, you know, nobody's going to catch it at that point. Next up, we got the Stretch Alert X Lookie. Obviously, if you have outside contain, the stretch is going to be the best option, but you have a slant, which obviously, you know, against like man coverages and stuff like that, or, you know, if the user leaves the middle of the field, the slant's going to be a really good option. But if I have this outside, I'm going to take this outside, because obviously the stretch is going to be the most consistent. Next up, we got the zone weak alert bubble. You're really just watching the defender and how they react to the RB. Like if they come in like that, obviously I threw it too quickly and I brought myself back to the line. That won't happen normally. But typically I'm just watching their reaction. Like I said, right there, he comes inside. You can see how the other receiver gets cleared out, and then you just have a good play to the sideline. You typically want your best receiver, like right there. I mean, you can get that. They can jump that route. You got to be careful. Luckily, I had a good pass over the top. But you know, I'm typically like I want to bullet pass it out and get it out there as quick as possible so I can get my guy to catch and run. But these plays are really kind of glitchy. Ultimately, the run play is pretty good. I would say that scenario, you know, the way that the quarterback holds the ball, it's really not the reason you would call this play. You're calling this play because you want to get it out to this RB route. And like I said, I mean, if you pass lead out and bullet it out and you have a good athlete, you'll typically get a positive play of about 5 or 10 yards. Next up, we got the PAY cross. All I'm going to do is drag the RB route. That's it. Give me a good high-low coming over the center. And if it's a cover 0 like that was, I mean, the Y route's obviously going to be pretty good. That was a man coverage. So that's pretty much going to be your man play. So block the running back, put the B on a drag, and you got your man and your zones. So right here, that looks like a man. So these are all beaten man, which isn't typical. You know what I mean? These crossing routes don't typically do that. But, you know, it's not this year anyway. I mean, but they're being covered by tight ends too, so that's part of the reason why Olsen's getting open. I mean, against a corner he would not, but against certain linebackers he will. And like I said, if you get a man coverage, you can just hold it. Like I said, right here, it looks like it's going to be a man coverage. This play is especially broken against plays like cover 4 quarters. That's really the look that I'm getting when this B route is essentially just home running the hell out of it. So if somebody's running that, or you know, any type of like cover 4 quarters, this is going to do that. Next up, we got the jet sweep. Nothing really to this play. Just gonna, you know, we're just gonna sprint to the sideline. That's it. Once you get out there, I mean, you're gonna get like 10, 15 easy pretty much every time. Some of these jet sweeps, they just seem like they can't fail. And then we're just going to, like I said, you don't want to get too close to the line. You'll get those guys off their blocks to tackle you if you get too close. So you're just going to sprint the line. Second you get the ball, just sprint this line straight across. And then, you know, like I said, you're not going to get like home runs, but you're definitely going to get, you know, like I said, a good 10, 15 yard average on these without a doubt. So let's go and let's move on. Next up, we got the 4 verticals. This play here, I mean, all I'm going to do is motion this guy out. If it's a cover 2, like this looks like it's a cover 2, I'm going to drag this the receiver under, and it should give me a throwing window. Good job holding on to it there, but it's going to be a tight window. Still going to be worthwhile. Here we go. Looks like we have a cover 1 man. A lot of times the RB route will beat that up the side as well, although maybe it's not a cover 1 man. It looks like it might be another cover 2. As you can see, that drag once again gets that coverage of how I want it. Cover 3 here most likely. Same setup, only this time I'm going to just throw it a little bit prior. It's like I'm not going to wait till it gets down the field. I'm just going to throw it to him short. Like I said, this verticals play, it's pretty easy. So I'm going to go ahead and do that again. Like I said, the way he dropped back, I can tell I'm probably going to be able to throw the ball in front of him. Sure enough, I'm right, but it was a horrible accuracy throw. You have to worry about that. Sometimes when you throw it too quickly, that happens. Go ahead and let's do that again. Looks like we have a cover 1 man this time, if I had to guess. And sure enough, we do. I'm going to go ahead and wait till he turns up the field. Like I said, you're not necessarily going to always win that because he's on a cornerback. But, you know, if you have a fast tight end, you can take that shot. Next up, we got the stretch alert bubble. If it's a man coverage, I'll know that by the cornerback on the right side. If there's no cornerback there, I'll know it's a man. I'm going to run it. If it's a zone coverage, the bubble is going to be a really good play. So here we go. So like I said, we got that zone. I hit that zone bubble. Like I said, if there's a cornerback on the other side, I'm gonna hit that. Like I said, no cornerback over there, so I'm gonna hit that stretch. You know what I'm saying? Real simple read.
Ready? Let's get it.
And I'm like I said, no, right there. Like I said, they're reacting. They're following the run. I'm going to hit that bubble screen. Get a nice easy catch and run. Cornerback on the right, so I'm going to hit that bubble screen. So he's reacting late. Said there's a cornerback there, so I'm going to hit that bubble screen. Got my block set up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just super easy reads to make that idea, to make that you know, figure that out. So here we go. We got cornerback's back. So if I want to, I could run that. You know, I could have easily did the bubble screen as well. So here we go. One more time. Except we got that bubble screen. Real easy reads. Next up, we got the drive wide corner. So all I'm going to do is motion out Thomas, put the A route on a streak. And if it's a cover 2, like this looks like it might be, the A route and the RB route is going to be really good. But you can see right there, I mean, we have, you know, just the way that zone reacted to the drag really got Olsen open for a big play. But that's pretty much the adjustments. I can block the running back if I want. I don't think I'm really going to look his way too much. But if it's a man, I mean, you have a couple of, you know, the crossing routes over the middle are probably going to be the best for man coverage. If you have a really fast tight end, the RB route will have success against man, but I don't think typically you're not going to have that against in most teams. And then outside here, that RB route, the way that cornerback drops back in the cover 3, it's going to give that underneath a lot. So that's a good play there. Let's go ahead and let's do this a few more times. Like I said, there's explosive capabilities against cover 2. Like right here, we got that cover 2 play. The RB route's going to be big over the top. Mostly because of that drag. Here, this looks like a man coverage, so I'll probably have to hit that drag right away. Yeah, because I can tell we got a man blitz. Just the way that all the safeties are in the box. You can tell that's pretty much going to be your best option against man. And then you got your over the top against man as well with more. So we got another cover 2 probably. Like I said, that outside route is just going to be, you know, monstrous against cover 2. Like I said, if you got speed, you could go. If you got a fast enough tight end, you could take it to the house. So, you know, pretty glitchy play here as far as that's concerned, I guess, especially against cover 2. So here we got the A route against cover 2 as well. You know, that mid-read basically dropped off. He didn't hold on to the ball, but you can see he was open in the middle. So against cover 2, this is really gonna beat up both of them. And then here we got a cover 3. I know the RB route's going to be open underneath right away. You know what I'm saying? If you can't throw it too quick, though, because you get that stupid animation, you have to hold it a little bit longer than that. Here it looks like we have another cover 3 or a man blitz, and then I'll just take that, you know. If you blitz too heavy, obviously, that's going to be an easy play. But it's really all about the streaking tight end and the motioned out receiver. Next up, out of the wing flex close, we have the halfback zone weak. I mean, these plays, if you have a gap of any kind, you can see how, you know, this is a really good option run play. I mean, sometimes you got to take it outside if the gap's not there and it'll work. But ultimately, this is just a really good inside run. The blocking is really sticky. You can see, I mean, this just the way this sets up is just, it's a really consistent. These weak plays are really consistent. These zone weak plays against these formations. Anytime you have tight wide receivers like that, right there, he just got off the block. There's nothing you can do about that if he just sheds the block like that. But typically, you're going to get a really good look. I mean, he just kicks him inside there, creates a gap. I probably could have got even more. I could have tried to kick it outside, but I just wanted to get that 5. But ultimately, these are just really good plays. Like I said, right there, kicks him inside. I got to take it outside. You know, almost got to read it like a counter play as far as that defensive end's concerned. So like I said, right there, crosses him up. I mean, the blocking is just really good, and it's a consistent run. Next up, we got the jet sweep. And they have a jet sweep in this one that I actually really like. I mean, typically I don't like running, you know, sweeps and reverses and trick plays like that because the potential benefits can be outweighed by, you know, you getting tackled 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage or something like that. But these jet plays, they don't have that same issue. And you can see it's a pretty consistent play. As you can see, I'm getting around the edge. I'm getting good blocking, and I'm getting about 10 yards every time. But typically, if you get caught in one of these jet plays, you might lose a yard or two, which is like, I would take that all game. You know what I'm saying? Like if I only lose a yard or two and the potential is a big play like you're seeing. Now, I'm running this. I should have Antonio Brown running this particular route, but you can see even this guy who's, you know, he's somewhat fast. I think he's like a 90-something speed. So he's not necessarily the type of guy. I mean, I would love like a Tyreek Hill run or something like that and probably be even more explosive, but you can see how easily I'm getting good yards. And then, like I said, if I get caught What did I lose? A half a yard? I'll take that all game. It's not the same type of risk you're taking with your typical end arounds and reverses. So I'll do a trick play like this all game and be happy with it. And like I said, it's a pretty good play. It's pretty consistent anyway. Next up, we got the 4 verticals. So on the defensive side, we're going to go random 3-4. I'm just going to run this as is to show you that the underneath running back, I'm not really sure what the route is, but that'll beat most things. The way that this play is designed, the 4 verticals will pull routes back, and the triangle route will be really good. But the route that I want to exploit are these outside routes. Now, essentially, you can see how right there it got, I'm going to go ahead and move the ball to the middle because I want to exploit both sides. I don't want to just stick to one side. But you can see how these outside routes, especially if you motion them, will get outside of most coverages. Now, that was obviously cover 3. Cover 3 and cover 4 is going to have that particular, it's going to do that pretty much every time. If the guy follows, you can tell it's probably going to be a cover 1 man. And in that scenario, like I said, in that scenario, you can just throw it up because that's going to be an obvious cover 1 beater. Cover 2, there might be a safety there. But in cover 1, like I said, when you got that cover 3 shell, that cover 1 shell look, the second he gets past that cornerback, it's just easy money. So you can steal that all day. But I'm going to go over individual coverages. I don't want to just go over random. I just wanted to show you that it can basically be just about any defense. But let's go ahead and let's break it down coverage by coverage, starting off with, like I said, cover 3, because this one here is going to be a little bit different. They're all going to be a little bit different. But I would say cover 3 is one of the best defenses this works against. Now, like I said, motioning this guy out, you can see right away that on this particular form of cover 3, there's a guy sitting under that route. So what am I going to do? First of all, I noticed that there's 2 defenders on the left side, only 1 defender on the right side. So obviously I want to run to the right side. So here we go once again. Now I've neglected to mention too, in cover 3s, typically 4 verticals always beat cover 3s up the same. That's one of the weaknesses of cover 3s. If you really want to make it, you want to give yourself a little bit of a bigger window, put the circle route on a streak, and then the X route will get open. It'll just pull the safety a little bit to the left so that you'll get a little bit of more of a throwing lane. But I'm still going to do this motion out because, like I said, I'm trying to create even more space between the cover 3 corner and the middle third defender. And by motioning that out, you're basically giving yourself a seam to throw pretty much every time. So like I said, put the circle route on a streak. He's going to run straight up the field with no angle, and that's going to create a little bit more separation for the tight end. A little back shoulder throw, a little pass lead away from the safety is going to be best. But like I said, the really glitchy one is this R1 route. I mean, the RB route. That's the one I really want to work because that's going to be open the most. It's going to be an instant open route, like you saw right there. You just have to basically, just kind of wait. I mean, you're just kind of waiting a second, as you can see right here. Let's just go ahead and we're just going to wait till it turns the field a little bit, and he's just going to be outside the defense pretty much every time. The only thing that really stops this is like a poor, accurate throw, which a lot of times Madden quarterbacks in this year's game can do. Especially if you try to throw it too quick. A lot of times, that'll be an issue, and it'll throw over the tight end's head. I also don't have a very good tight end. I mean, the Raiders don't have a tight end. They lost Jared Cook last year. So just imagine if I was running this with like George Kittle or something like that. Like, I would just be having so much more success, and I'm still getting 15, 20 yards instantly. You know what I'm saying? It's like an instant 15 to 20 yards. Nothing I really have to do other than just drop back and just hook it out there. So you can't beat that. I mean, that's just, plays like that, they'll drive your opponent insane. And this route on the outside will guarantee that your opponent cannot just pay attention to the streaks inside. I mean, that's going to be their natural reaction, is paying attention to these streaks inside. So if they start paying attention to the outside guy, you throw it to the inside tight end. If they pay attention to the inside tight end, you throw it to the outside guy. I mean, you really can't. Essentially, the only thing you can do is switch coverages, get out of the cover 3, and that's when we get to the cover 2 beater. Say they switch to cover 2 or cover 4. I got a variation of this that will beat just about every one. So by this point in the game, your opponent probably ditched the cover 3 because they couldn't figure it out. So I would say a lot of people's their next bet would probably be cover 2. So let's go ahead and let's pick Tampa 2, and then let's show you the variation for that. Now, the setup for this is really simple. All I'm going to do is put the X route on a drag, and I'm going to block the running back. That's it. Motion out the receiver like I did previously, and I don't even have to motion him out. I mean, I can leave him inside. It's going to be the same result, just as long as I get a good pass lead. But obviously, motioning him out is going to get him a little bit further away from that safety. But you don't have to motion him. I mean, you can leave it like it as is. You just have to make the adjustment. X on a drag, put the running back on a pass block so you can have the time. And then the pass lead a lot of times will get it done, as you can see right there. I mean, I can move the ball back a little bit. You can see how far this ball travels in the air. So let's go ahead and let's move it back maybe like 10 yards so I don't have to worry about that again. But this is a bomb, man. I mean, this is a deep play. The cover 2 really has no choice or you know, they're going to leave cover 2 in a heartbeat, just like they left cover 3 if they stay in this. So like I said, I mean, I like the roll out a little bit. I did the motion there. You can see maybe that's why he ran out of bounds. So like I said, I'm not 100% sure what's the best way to do it, leaving him inside or motioning him out. They both work. That's the bottom line. But you can see now when I combine pass leading outside with the motion, you can see that a lot of times I'm shorting myself. I'm throwing the ball out of bounds. Could be an accuracy issue. Once again, Derek Carr's not a great quarterback, but you can see, I mean, like right there, when I bomb that up, there's cover. He's gonna have to bail cover 2, cover 3. They're gonna have to bail cover 3. They're gonna have to bail cover 2. Cover 1 man obviously doesn't work. We saw that as well. There's really just no defense for this, and you can see like this is so broken. Like he's catching the ball past the safety. Like by the time the ball lands to the receiver, he's already outrun the safeties. Next up, we got the halfback stretch. This play right here, I mean, you can run it just like this. You know, you can motion snap. This is essentially, you know, a repurposed formation with the toss play from a couple years ago. That was in the Saints playbook that everybody used. So let's do this again. Said you can motion snap this guy. You can motion snap, you know, whoever you want really. But this is, you know, like I said, they basically pulled a fast one and got rid of the toss play that everybody was cheesing with and replaced it with this. So there we go. Motion snap once again. Like I said, it'll kick out. You know, you ain't fooling me. Yeah, I know what this play is. So you can use the tight end. You can use the receiver. It doesn't really matter. We're gonna get outside. Oh yeah, that's right, bitch. Oh yeah, that's right, bitch. You don't know Christian McCaffrey like that, son. You don't know Christian McCaffrey like that, son. So let's go ahead and let's do that one more time. Yeah, the blocking got a little bit stacked up there. Oh, no big deal though. So good play. It's the best that they have from this formation now. Next up, we got the jet sweep. To me, these jet sweeps are pretty consistent. You know, you can run it just like this. You can't make any adjustments. I wish I could make an adjustment so that it mirrors some of the other plays that I put out where I can motion out the receiver. But it's a really good play just like this. You can take it short or you can take it wide. You're pretty much going to have to read that defensive end pretty much every time. I find specialists to take it wide just about every time. Try to take it straight to the boundary. Right here's a cover 3. I probably won't have a blocker for that. You don't necessarily want to run this against cover 3s because a lot of times safety's down and you don't have a blocker to account for them. But like I said, you can see right there. I mean, if I had a faster guy other than Hogan, I probably would have been gone on that play. So really good option to run. But like I said, don't run against cover 3. You can see that safety's going to get in the way. Next up, we got the jet sweep. Just want to make sure your fastest receiver is running this option. Although I don't have my fastest receiver doing it, I got Hogan doing it. But you can see it's still a successful play. If I had a faster guy, I'd probably just get a couple more yards. But no big deal. Like I said, you're just going to take the ball and sprint basically up the sideline. I mean, you can turn it up the field a little bit prematurely. You don't always have to go outside, but you're not going to be able to turn it up before you get past the line of scrimmage. At least not with any type of athleticism anyway. And if you take a loss, it's only a couple yards. You're getting more than you're losing, so it's not really that big a deal. Ultimately, this play is going to be in the positive. As you can see right here, I mean, I'm just going to mirror my guys. And then he fumbles on top of it, but like I say, he's not athletic. This is not a very good receiver. Next up, we got the flanker spot. All I'm going to do is streak the X route. Other than that, I mean, I can block the running back. You know, put the A route on a drag, and that's pretty much it. So I'll have a really good play outside. Good check down is going to be A, but the Y route 9 times out of 10 is going to get open to the outside pretty much. So that's pretty much the play that I'm trying to create here is that Y route. I'm going to get him to the sideline. And like I said, that A route really is there just to pull coverage down against like cover 2s. I actually threw that ball a little bit quick as well. The longer the play goes, the more open the Y route will get. So let's do that one more time. Like I said, I mean, I actually almost got myself sacked, so I had to throw it early again. So let's do this one more time. Get that Y route out. Like I said, he's getting jammed up a little bit. So I just, you know, it's going to be consistent, though. Against man or zone, that Y route's going to get open pretty much every time. The A route's the check down against man or zone, and it also pulls coverage against cover, too. So that's pretty much, you know, everybody else here is just pulling coverage as well. Like I said, right here, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to turn that up and get a big play. Should have threw that a little bit earlier, though, because the sideline kind of messed me up. But like I said, it's all timing, and it's all about that one route. Next up, we got the jet sweep. Just make sure your fastest receiver's at the slot, and a lot of times you'll have a really good play. I mean, it's a consistent run. These jet sweeps in a lot of formations are really good runs. So ultimately, I throw this in every once in a while. Against man coverage is going to be good because you can see against zone coverage necessarily be good because the man coverage sometimes can follow across when you're motioning, which can make it a little bit tougher. But ultimately, I mean, this is just, like I said, especially against zone, really good play, really consistent. Cover 2 man could get in the way as he did right there, but I still got 5 yards. So even if you take a loss, you're not taking much of a loss. Next up, we got the stretch alert bubble. You're kind of just watching what the defender in front of the Y route's doing. Here's a cover 3, so I would say it's definitely going to be best to get it across to him. I don't have a fast guy there, but you definitely want to have a speedster at that spot. So like I said, a cover 3 and off coverage like that, you're going to want to do that. This is a good run play, though. You know what I mean? Like some of these RPOs don't have a good run play, but the stretch is a really good run play. So if I read that I have an outside, shot like right there, I have an outside blocker, I can go this route real quick, you know what I'm saying? And it's obviously a really big play. If I don't have outside, like I said, a cover 3, then I want to go to the bubble. But like I said, I'm getting a lot of looks where I have an outside guy. I didn't really accelerate too fast there, but I still had a good play. If I don't have the edge, I'm just going to watch that bubble. Like right there, I didn't have the edge. The run, even the safety on the other side committed, and then I'm going to hit that bubble screen. Real simple play. Next up, out of the single back doubles dice slot, we have the Z post Y out. So this player here, all I got to do is block my running back. Essentially, that's the most important part, so I can get a little bit more time. Because ultimately, I'm just waiting for this B route to cross this free safety, and then I can get past for a one-play touchdown against cover 4. You can smart route the B route, and I find that'll help him get a little bit more separation. But you have to be at a certain distance. Like I said, you have to be like a 10-yard mark to get that effect. So it won't work if you're like 4th and 13 or something like that. So you have to do it at a certain, around a 10-yard distance. Next up, we got the fade smash. So if it's a cover 2, you can run it as is. I'm going to put the B route on a drag just in case it's man, because I don't necessarily have a lot of man beaters. But like I said, if it is a cover 2, which you could tell, it's just going to get outside of the cover 2. Any other zone, you're going to have to streak the outside route so that he can get outside of it. But if it's like a man coverage, like right here, I mean, he's getting, that was actually a zone, but he ran and he trailed it. That might have been part of the new patch, but it's still, like I said right here, like we have, just getting outside of that. You know what I mean? I don't know what that is, but. So here we go. Like I said, any other zone, you're gonna have to go that route. This is a man coverage. You got some pretty good man beaters with the Olsen and with the drag or the in route, whatever you decide there. I actually think blocking the running back makes sense too, because I haven't been doing that. But here we go. So we have another. Oof. Blocking the running back is a good look. I don't find he really does anything more than get in the way. So here we go one more time. Looks like we got another man coverage, or what? Maybe it was a zone. I'm not entirely sure. But you have good options over the middle. So here we go one more time. So this is probably a cover 2, so I don't think I should have streaked that. I shouldn't have streaked that route, but it didn't matter. So make sure, since that's the money route, make sure you have a fast receiver there. Yeah, it was a cover 2, but since he got jammed coming off, that's why it still worked. So here we go. This is probably a cover. Not really sure, but like I said, he gets outside of it. So just get that streak going, and he'll get outside of just about any zone coverage. Next up, we got the fly sweep new anim test. I'm guessing that I'm guessing that EA didn't finish putting that in because it says new animation test. Interesting. So this is a new animation. And this is a tight end running this, which, you know, hey, it's still pretty good. It's still a pretty good run. So it's just a jet sweep. We've seen this. I mean, it's like I said, the blocking's great. I'm getting more out of this than I do at a typical normal jet sweeps.
Here we go. Here we go. 180.
One more time. Like I said, we're just getting that edge pretty easy. So, obviously, when they test it, it's pretty OP.
188.
So here we go. I've yet to have an issue. I've yet to have an issue with this run.
Ready. Set 180.
So definitely test well. Like I said, this is OP. Like it's not. They obviously didn't tone this down.
Ready. Set 180.
so we caught a typo in EA's in EA's programming. And obviously, when they put this play in, they put it in really glitchy because it's really strong. I haven't yet to, I've yet to get a negative, of any kind. I mean, I could probably, I'm sure there's a way I could substitute a receiver for this tight end. But what a good, I mean, this is just, oof. There's no bad runs here. I want to keep going until I get a bad run. I think I might be doing this for a long time if that's the case. Oh, man. Next up out of the single back deuce close, we got the PAX post cross. It's just going to be a cover 4 one-play touchdown. You just have to motion this guy out. That's pretty much it. You don't really have to do anything else. And you pretty much have a play right here. You just have to buy time. And then once he gets inside of that free safety, he's going to be gone. You know what I mean? Just pass lead and bullet across. Bullet away. And that's pretty much it. If you want to, you can always drag the A route or something like that. You know, that's always at your discretion for another check down. The running back's going to be a pretty good check down. But it's really about when you throw the ball. So, moving on. Next up, we got the dig and up. So this play is really all about the stop and go. So I'm just going to put B route on a, I'm just going to put him on a, I forget the word, smart route. Then I'm just going to streak Y because I want to pull coverage back. The X route is a pretty good man beater in its own right. So you have a really good check down, you know, whether it's whatever man coverage it is. Like I said, this is mostly for cover one man, but he's good against anyone. So that's an option there. And then, like I said, you're just going to put the Y route on a streak. I can block the running back as well because, like I said, all my routes are pretty much set up. And then the B route is pretty much, you know, just pass lead outside. You can see that smart route. He really gets past that corner. That's a good cornerback, too, in Desmond Trufant. Next up, we got the bench. This play right here, I mean, I went over this in previous formations. These outside routes, I mean, that was a bad throw. He didn't catch it, but you can see he was open. Whether it's cover 2, cover 3, even cover 4, these routes tend to get there. And then you also have your you know, your little out routes here, which get open. I mean, this is just a really, really good play this year. One of my more favorite, I would say. I'll definitely be running it. I probably should have threw the man. I threw in the double coverage right there. That wasn't the best move. So I'm going to go ahead and reduce a couple times. Like I said, that they chip off the deeper route. I'll take the underneath, catch and run all game. So one more time. And there we go. Like I said, I mean, I'll take that underneath route. It's there. Next up, we got the halfback wham. I'm not a huge fan of wham plays, but you know, I mean, it's a good enough play. I'm just not really a wham person. It's not really the play I like to run, but I always point it out because there's a lot of people that swear by this play. You know, and I'm sure there's different. I mean, it's almost like a trap play. I personally am not a huge trap play person either. I don't really think that's the way this year either. But like I said, I'm always going to call this play out just in case there are people that like to run this. But it is a good run play. You can see I get a good couple yards inside. You know, anytime you have, you know, traps and wham plays, they're pretty decent. You know, but like right there, so I finally get my big run. But I'm always trying to bounce it outside anyway. But still, you can see there's definitely times you're going to have holes. Let's go ahead and let's do that again. I got a guy coming off the edge. We'll see if that messes things up. Like I said, sticky blocking inside, so I'm going to take it outside. Find my own path. Definitely a huge cutback lane. So like I said, good play. Maybe it's just me on the sticks, though. I don't know, because that was definitely not where the play was designed to go. So guys coming down again one more time. And there, it's just, yeah, it's good. It's definitely a good play. Like I said, you got to make your own path, but there's definitely some sticky blocking in there. Do that one more time. Like I said, there's the inside, and I'm going to make that dude miss and make him hesitate, and I'm gone. So the halfback wham, definitely a good play. I take back everything I said earlier in the video. Nasty run. I'm getting lots of big-time runs inside. Next up, we get the halfback stretch. Another really good run formation, or run play from this formation. I mean, there's just, you know, really, really wide blocking as I make two guys miss. Two guys miss with a nasty juke from Christian McCaffrey. This guy is amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just hit this once or twice more. Like I said, I'll just take him out, stretching as far as, I mean, it's just, you know, this is just a really top-notch run formation, to be honest. So here we got the cover 3 safety on the one side. I'm obviously going to want to go to the other side. Set these guys up. You know, it's just a really consistent run. Next up, out of the single back bunch base, we got the Z spot. All I'm going to do is I'm going to put my B route on a streak. I can also put this guy, the square route, on an in route or something like that. It doesn't really matter. But basically, I mean, if this guy's open right away, I'm going to work my way back. If he's open right away, I'm going to take it for a catch and run. Put your fastest guy there possible. I didn't necessarily do that, but I always recommend it. And then, like I said, if he's not open, a lot of times the guy, you know, if he's covered down low, the guy above is going to be open. It's going to be that slant route or that outside post route. So that's pretty much your read. You're reading high and low. One of them is going to be open pretty much every time. Just take it. Don't ask no questions. You know what I'm saying? Don't force it to nothing that you don't need to be. Other than that, the B route sometimes can get open up the seam of cover 2. But this guy's a good cover 2 play outside. It's a little bit safer. The inside cover 2s don't really work as well this year because the safeties kind of converge in the middle. Next up, we got the spacing switch. So all I'm going to do here, I like to put the X route on a slant, just to pull coverage. If it's a man coverage, none of these other routes are really going to work. So the slant's going to be the first read on man and pretty much the last read against all the other zones. But I'm essentially just kind of reading, you know, I'm reading basically right to left when it comes to, you know, the zones in the bunch. I can pretty much eliminate the B route pre-snap if I look at it like this. Here's the cover 3, so I know against cover 3 Samuel's going to typically get open, but it's actually a man coverage anyway. So like I said, I'm going to have to wait and hit that slant, or I can just, you know, I can hit the comeback routes. I just have to hit them quick. Like I said, if my pre-snap read, if the cornerbacks are down, a lot of times the B route won't get open. I'll know that right off the bat. This looks like it might be like a cover. That would look like cover 3 of some kind. But like I said, I can take that read away from pre-snap read. That's only going to open against cover 3 and cover 4, the B route, or like this here, like a blitz looks like. But that's pretty much my first read as he fumbles anyway. But like I said, I mean, I can tell like if the cornerbacks are down, set right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just reading B and then I'm reading in. This is just, you know, a really good red zone play ultimately. That's the idea behind a play like this. This is not like a game-breaking, you know, one-play touchdown or nothing like that. But if you need a couple of yards, this is going to be the look. And then, like I said, ultimately, you want to pass that low. You want to hold the LT button to throw that ball to the ground a lot of times because you can see the way that animation pops up. You pretty much want to throw all of them that way because the way the animation pops up, a lot of times you'll get that ball knocked out. Next up out of the single back bunch, we got the quick pitch. You can run just like this. I mean, in the past, I've motioned out that farthest receiver. Oh, he got lit up there, man. Like he punched him in the jaw. But you can see it was a big run. But yeah, I find it's good just to run just like this. I don't necessarily need to make any motions. I think it's actually pretty good as it is.
Here we go.
So here we go. Like I said, we're getting that now. Oh, man. Just got to hold that block down, man. Just got to hold that block down. So I'm going to try motioning out this receiver just to see, you know, what the difference is. And you can see right there, I guess I got a little bit better spacing by motioning out the receiver. So we'll do that one more time. Like I said, he backs off a little bit, which is part of the reason motioning out that receiver's always been so successful for me is it backs away the cornerback, and then we get a nice big easy run.
Ready, set, 180.
So we're gonna do that one more time.
Here we go. Ready.
Motion him out. And then, like I said, it just helps me to get to the edge. It's not always a huge play, but you can see I got much more than I did before.
Set, 180.
So motioning him out, like I said, cornerback drops off.
Look at it.
And it's going to make it easier for me, and I would have been gone, man. There's one dude to beat, that Deion Jones, man.
Set, 180.
Speedy middle linebacker. Son of a bitch. It's like right here, he dropped down, so I know I'm probably going to have to cut this short. Actually, I don't. Yeah, no, he must have dropped off or got blocked out of the way or something. But you can see it's a much easier run play with the motion, which matches a lot of pass plays that I put out anyway. So you shouldn't have an issue there. Like I said, he just came. That dude, typically those safeties blow that up. That dude was coming down to blow that up, and it didn't work out for him. He got blocked twice. So one more time, just to show some consistency here with the new setup. Oh man, come on, bro. That dude, he's just playing lights out. He's really disrupting some things. I motioned over the wrong guy, but it don't really matter. I'm willing to bet. Let's just see. It's the same idea. Like I said, it didn't matter. Still got a big run play out of it. Still close to 10 yards. Next up, we have the 4 verticals. This play here, I'm going to put more on a drag. If it's a cover 2, that drag will come in handy to pull coverage back for Samuel. This whole play is really about the B route. Although the RB route and the A route will get open, you can see this guy here just gets open way more to the outside, whether it's cover 3, cover 4. It doesn't really matter. Here's a cover 3 or cover 1. If it's a cover 1, I'm hitting a home run. If it's a cover 3, I'll know right away because the cornerback drops back, and then I'll just hit him underneath. If I make a miss, I can take it up the sideline. You know, it's a scenario that can play out. I could also put this guy on a drag. Like I know this isn't a cover 2, so I can put him on a slant if I want. This might be a cover 1. No, it's still not. So they keep hitting me with cover 3s. So you know, but that's like stealing candy from a baby. I mean, it's so easy. So easy. So here we go. We're going to do this again. Like I said, this might be a cover 2, but obviously not, though, because the cornerback dropped back so far. It's a cover 1. That's an interesting look. If it is a cover 1, Samuel's going to be a home run. These inside routes, I forget about them, but oh, here's a blitz. There we go. So like I said, that's easy. If they're going to send a house blitz like that, you're going to have a lot of openings. So, had to pick a cover 1 because they're not going to give it to me otherwise. This is pretty much going to be, just going to wait till he turns up the field. And, you can bullet, lob, whatever you want, as long as it gets separation. He didn't catch it there. I mean, it's a pretty good cornerback covering my receiver. But you can see he's going to get past pretty much every time. Next up, we got the close PA sail. This play here, I mean, you can put this guy here on a streak. I'd say put X on an out route, then smart route, and pass block the running back. I think that's going to be the best way to run this. You have an outlet pass, which is the RB. So if it's a man coverage, you got an easy play to that guy, which obviously that was. But that's the only issue really is getting time. That's why if you want to, you can just put the RB route. You can pass block Olsen. You can put the RB route on the streak instead, and you'll get the same effect. Just as long as this is cover 3, which it looks like it is. There we go. So we're going to bomb this up. So like I said, this play's capable of a couple different things. It's capable of a cover 3 bomb. It's a good cover 1 man play with your outside route, which is Thomas. And it's also, it's a good cover 2 play. So there's a couple different things you can do with this play. But overall, probably the biggest property is going to be the one play touchdown, which hopefully this isn't a man coverage and I'll get that look again, which I did, but I got sacked. But like I said, you can see it's there. So that's the biggest issue is getting that time so you can bomb that up. But that's what every pass play is going to be that way. Next up, we got the close PA cross. This is a natural cover 4 beater. So all I'm going to do is pass block my running back. I have some good routes crossing the field. But I'm really just waiting for that X route to clear so I can just throw it up over the safeties there. Really simple. I mean, all you're really doing is I'll go to the replay, I guess. All you're really doing here is waiting for this guy to get inside of this guy, and then he's just, that safety there can't catch up. None of them can. So I'm just going to pass lead away, throw it, run it, and catch it. You know what I'm saying? Pass lead it to the outside, away from this safety, and that's all I really got to worry about. Next up, I got the halfback stretch alert smoke. It's just a good stretch play. I don't really think the smoke's really that great, but you know, these RPOs really can confuse the defense to that they don't react to the run plays as quickly, because there is the chance that it's not going to be a run play. So they kind of play it a little bit more hesitant. So I'd say, you know, I don't like the smoke play unless it's going to be, you know, they're running a cover 3 or something. Like this could be a cover 3, and you could go back across. But ultimately, you know, it's the only scenario where I think it's going to be any good is cover 3, maybe cover 4. Next up, we got the halfback toss crack. No adjustments to be made. You get a good seal on the edge here, though. And a lot of times, you know, I mean, I'll take what's there. I could have tried to swing it out for more, but I'll take 5 easy right there. Although ultimately, you know, you're trying to get big plays here. You want to try to bounce it outside. Here we go. We get good blocking. Can I get the speed? Oh, that's right, baby. That was a real tight look right there. Like I said, you can see, obviously, this has really big play potential. Go ahead and I'll run it one more time. But like I said, the blocking's setting up pretty good. As you know, I don't know if maybe I just didn't follow it really well there, but I saw some really good potential there. Let's go ahead and let's do this one more time. Like I said, that guy, he just chips on, and then they pass off really well. And then I'm just running for my life on that particular set. So really good run play. Next up, we got the PA cross. So this play here, I'm going to flip it because for some reason it doesn't work as well to the right side as it does to the left side. Probably because there's 2 cornerbacks over there, or a safety in the corner. Then I'm going to put the X route on a smart route. Then I'm going to, or I'm sorry, out route, then smart route it. Motion him out. He's going to be on an island, and now he's going to stay home. Then I'm going to put the A route on a streak, pass block the running back, and now I got a 1-play touchdown against cover 3. So let's go ahead and let's drop back, buy some time. And like I said, you got that window there. I mean, the throw wasn't really on point, but you can see how easy that was. You can't do it the other way because like I said, you got 2 corners. Let's go to the replay instead of just talking over so that way I can focus in on the guys. You can't do it the other way because there's 2 guys over here. So they just communicate to each other a little bit differently, and that's going to make you know, them they just react differently. So it doesn't work. It has to be to the side where there's only one guy in the box. So he's by himself. He'll communicate differently, and he'll hold that spot down. Even though he has the same help underneath, he's just not going to communicate the same way at the same pace, and he'll stay lower in the coverage than the other corner. So go ahead and flip that again.
20.
So like I said, just have to do it opposite of the 2 cornerbacks, or the cornerback and the safety set. I don't even think I really need to put the tight end on a streak either, but I'm going to do that just to be safe. And then, like I said, by the time he reaches across, if I pass lead that away, touchdown, baby. Next up, we got the bench. This is really a cover 2 concept for the most part. You know, like your X route here, you can see how he's just, you know, beating right through the separation between the safety and the cornerback. It can work against cover 3 as well, but you're going to get a little bit more coverage. You know, if you throw to this receiver in particular, he's gonna be contested catching, but it's still an option. But this is the type of play you typically want to pull out when somebody's running a lot of cover 2s, and then obviously cover 3. You can see it's a much tighter window. I'm not taking it to the house, but you can run this successfully most of the game. The triangle route too. I mean, in a cover 3, he's going to be open more underneath in a cover 3 than he would a cover 2. But this is a good play. Against man coverage, cover 4. I mean, cover 4, he's still getting outside. Even in a cover 4, you're seeing a tight throwing window to the outside, but it's there. So, you know, these routes, obviously he's going to get open underneath again. You know what I mean? Like, it's a pretty good play if you can run it accurately, if you can make the accurate throws. Let's go ahead and let's do this one more time. Oh, hit the button too many times again. I've thrown picks doing that. It's annoying. Now let's do this one more time. We're gonna hit that square route all the way on the outside. Like I said, super tight, but it's there. So you have something you can beat cover 4 with it. You can beat man coverage with it. You know what I'm saying? Like now we're in a man coverage. Like I said, it's just obviously, you know, this is one of the cheesier plays back in the day, and it's definitely pretty cheesy again. Definitely the underneath route. I'll try to hit the over top route now. You can see if I just, you know. Like I said, beats just about every coverage, with the exception of maybe cover 2 man. I don't know, but it beats just about every coverage. Next up, we got the halfback toss. This here, to me, is just kind of a more of an explosive attempt at a stretch play. And you can see, I mean, that was a tremendous block. I almost took it to the house if I just had a little bit more speed. But you can see, I mean, obviously, you know, this is like taking a shot compared to the stretch. It's just like, you know, the stretch is more bread and butter. This is more trying to hit a home run. Next up, we got the PA jet sweep. So this is an interesting play. I mean, you're going to have that X route under the coverages a lot of times. Is just a nice, it's almost like a bubble screen with no blocking. So it's an interesting play. It's a really good setup. I can't make any other adjustments, which sucks, but that's just how it is. They don't, you know, they don't let you make adjustments on screenplays anymore. But this is the guy anyway. I mean, that's who I want to hit. He just gets forgotten a lot of times. I don't think any of the other routes are really too consistent necessarily, but like I said, this is really the bread and butter of it anyway. Like I said, I mean, we got the B route here. I don't know if that was a cover 2. You can see how all these stretching routes pull the cover 2s apart. So I would say this is definitely B. That's your cover 2 read. Other than that, your cover 3, cover 4, you're going to be hitting this guy underneath cover 1. As you can see, the man cover guy was coming over late. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be an option for pretty much every coverage. Other than cover 2. So here's cover 3. Like I said, I already know, you know, the X route's going to be open. Just hit it to him in stride. Just burn it. Just hit the burners up the field. I don't even have my fastest running back or my fastest receiver running that. If I did, it'd probably be even more yards. But a really interesting play, really cheesy play. Next up, we got the jet sweep. So obviously mirrors the motion of the passing play. They're meant to work together. All you really want to do though is you want to typically burn this to the outside. I don't think. I mean, there's a lane inside, but I don't think you're necessarily going to get a ton doing that. This is a unique play. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a money play, but it's something, you know, if you have a fast receiver like Tyreek Hill, throw in this little bit of trickery, and you can have a nice play here and there. So that's a good play, but go ahead and move on. Next up, we got the Stretch Alert X Lookie. You know, it's just a good stretch play where you can have the option to pull it down, throw it across. You know what I'm saying? It's not even the best stretch play in this particular formation, but it's a good wrinkle to have, especially if you're running a lot of stretch plays. Out there, I actually made a mistake, read it wrong. But some superior stick skills is going to make this a really good run regardless. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, if you're running a lot of stretch plays, hit him with this and, you know, hit him with a pass. Give him something to think about. First up, we got the Zone Alert Z Smoke. It's just a simple zone play. I find it's pretty effective. You can see, you know, the lane that I had there. The defense is going to play it soft because they'll most likely be reacting to the possibility of a pass. This is a full-out blitz right here. That was a full-on blitz right there. Nothing I can really do about that. But typically, you know, it looks like an inside zone, but you really have the option to bounce it outside. Obviously, a cornerback blitz. I'm getting some exotic blitzes that are messing it up. You flip it to either side. I'm sorry, actually, you can't flip to either side. I forgot. It's a smoke play. So you don't have that ability. But like I said, you have a couple different options, a couple different areas you can run on pretty much every down, just as long as like the blocking gets off like it did right there. You can see, you know, that's just a really huge lane. Really good run play. Next up, we got the dagger. Just put the A on a streak, put the Y on a drag, and that's pretty much your play right there. Just wait for this B route to get open outside. You know, he can get some big catch and runs. I don't know, that was a bad throw though. Here we got double safety blitz. I don't really think this play has too much of a great man beater option. I would say if anything, put the X route on a comeback route so you have that option. So now he's a good check down. Just put him on that comeback route. He's gonna, like I said, if it's a man, you know, he'll come back to that. That was actually bad timing by me, but it still worked out. Because ultimately these crossing routes don't really beat man too well anymore. So here we go. We got that, you know, just hit that comeback route. That wasn't, because of how close I am to the sideline, it's not even a really good comeback route. It's more like a hangman route, which is not that effective. So, but ultimately, like I said, against zones, this is the play I'm going for anyway. Which can be a good catch and run type of play. Next up, we got the levels sail. This play doesn't work as good as it did last year, but it's still pretty much a read to the running back. It's running back tight end. As you can see, I'm getting a big play, but it's definitely Ooh, I think it's fumbled. And it's definitely a really good play, though, down the field. You got a series of check downs on the other side, and like I said, you're pretty much just going tight end, running back. Did I get back-to-back fumbles? What kind of bull crap is that? But that's pretty much the play. And like I said, obviously all these check downs on the right side. One of these guys will be open. One of these guys will be open pretty much every time on the other side. You don't really have a man beater that's too great, so you could always put one in a comeback route. The furthest one out on a comeback route, so you have a reliable man beater than just your tight end. Your tight end would probably be your best man beater at this point. Next up, we got the fade smash. If it's a cover 2, the Y route's still going to be very good. As you can see right here, I mean, it just gets outside the coverage. But ultimately, I'd say it's pretty much just a cover 2 play at this point. So like I said, it's pretty much just a cover 2 play here. Looks like we have, I'll take the check down, the comeback route there. Next up out of the gun tray wide flex, we have the RPO alert screen, I should say. So this formation will give away man or zone, which is going to basically determine what you do. If it's a man coverage, Olsen's really good. If it's a zone coverage, obviously the screen's really good. Or you can also just kind of watch like what the defenders do. Like if they hesitate, obviously you don't want to run into that because they're going to be coming down to that. You know, if those defenders on the right side crash in towards the run play, you obviously don't want to go that way. But if they drop back, I mean, like right there, they drop back a little bit, gives me a lane. So it's really that's the determination more than anything. Like I said, we got a blitz here. We'll go and get that out. I probably could have got that inside a little bit better, but I almost ran into him. I said, but that's, you know, I like these screenplays are really good this year. So your first indicator is man or zone. Your second indicator is what are those guys on the left side doing. So right there, he crashed inside. Actually, I didn't get a block. I don't know what was going on there. So your first indicator is man or zone. Your second one is what are those guys doing outside? I mean, like, do they crash in or do they stay put? If they stay put, it works pretty good either way. But if they stay put, obviously, you have it's a better option to go the other way. Next up, we got the mesh spot. It's going to put B on a streak, motion over the receiver. You got a really good high-low on the opposite side with Moore and the drag route too. But ultimately, like I said, split the field in half. If it's a cover 3, McCaffrey will get outside of it for a good catch and run. So one side's cover 3, the other side's cover 2. Obviously, this is not a cover 2 with the safety being down like that. It was a man coverage. You know, so once again, I mean, McCaffrey's going to be good against that too, but typically deep. I don't know if I'm going to get a cover 2 here. They seem to be just sending blitzes out of man. So, I mean, that's obviously it's an instant open route, so you know you're going to win that all day. So here we got a cover 2. I could always put Y on a streak too, just to kind of pull back coverage for the big throw, which is going to be the X route anyway. As you can see right there, I mean the safety's even further outside, so it's a really good cover 2 play. Next up, we got the PA post shot. This play right here, I mean, this is just going to work really good against zone coverages. Because all the crossing receivers really just mix up the zones. It's a really popular play last year, somewhat similar this year though. But the A route really, like I said, they just freeze, and then you just get these really big, you know, completions downfield. Pretty much the B route's the money route. A route's your check down. As you can see, I mean, it's just open every time. It's just really bad zone recognition. Next up, we got the bench switch. So both of these outside routes beat man. I typically want to go to the receiver side, but if it's cover 3, the underneath route, the outside, you know, the out route beats cover 3, and if it's cover 2, typically the Y route wins. So that's pretty much all I'm doing. Cut the field in half, and it looks like I'm getting some sort of blitzes on these, but cut the field in half, both beat man, cover 3 underneath, cover 2 high. It's a real easy play. Next up, we got the slot curl. I mean, you have a cover 3 concept with the Y route going right up the seam. That'll pull coverage back. And then, you know, obviously you can get outside from time to time. Well, that wasn't a very good throw. And then you also have a cover 2 concept with the B route coming underneath the X route, which he'll act as a check down and he'll pull coverage back. So pretty much this route's the play pretty much every time. Cover 2 or cover 3, or man coverage, and then your drag obviously is your check down. Right there, I don't know what that was, but he's just take him open underneath. You know what I'm saying? If I don't have time, which it was a little bit of a blitz, so I really didn't have time, so I'll take that check down pretty much all game. So I'm going to make it out of this, and I'm going to start off with the mesh spot. I'll make that the first play. But we'll pick that. We'll go random 3-4. So a couple different things you can do with this play. It's not a bad play as is. Just putting Williams here on a streak a lot of times will help get the RB route open underneath. Ultimately, if it's a man coverage, though, I mean I got Brown out here. That's a good man beater. The drags are good man beaters. But ultimately, if I'm trying to make this variation work at its best, it's going to be to get. I mean, this is obviously going to be one of the most consistent routes. But I'm trying to get the running back open. So in cover 3 and cover 4. If it's a cover 3 or cover 4, I can still hit this R route, this RB route, as you can see right there. It's a good check down if they drop back. I wish I could motion them out like I used to, but that's not really an option anymore. Another option is I can make this into a bunch by just motioning over this tight end here. And I think putting him on a streak and then putting the X route either on a flat or an out route is going to work best. And now I have pretty much all 3 of my reads over on the right side there, or the left side there. Makes it a little bit easier to do. Now I can just drag Williams just to kind of create another good check down, but I'm ultimately reading low to high. Here's another man coverage. I'm reading front to back. I'm reading the square out to the post, and that's pretty much the play. Walter here, I mean I can just was it Waller? I can just streak him, and if it's a cover 3 and sometimes cover 2, he'll get open like right up the middle. But ultimately his job is to pull coverage anyway. And you can see, like, I have a cover 2 play and a cover 3 play on the outside. That's a cover 2 play right there. Although I think that might have been a cover 3. Here we got a cover 3. So like I said, the streak will come into play. If it's a cover 3, I would say put X on a flat beater like that. And then, like I said, Williams doing what he's doing is a pretty good check down. But if I have it like this, which like I said, that's what I think it is, a lot of times he'll just get open in the flats really quick. That was actually pretty decent coverage, though, by the linebacker. But like I said, there's really 2 different ways. The wheel route not motioning out is somewhat of an issue that it just doesn't really get open like it used to because of that. So like I said, I'm pretty much just trying to work the bunch side for the most part now. And when I say like I used to, I mean it just doesn't. This is a new formation, but I'm saying I've done similar stuff with this. Like right here, now we can get the RB route open. I wish he didn't turn up either. You know what I mean? Like he turns up and gets into trouble. You almost have to get it out quicker. So if you get, if you get a cover 3, you almost want to get it out really fast. I said right here, there's a corner blitz almost. You know what I mean? Like it's still in play, and it still makes a big play, and it's still my first read for the most part. Instead of running back, instead just cover 3, cover 4. He doesn't quite burst out of it like he might have in the past too. So let's say we got a man coverage here. So I think I got a linebacker on him. So that's going to be a win, obviously, get that type of matchup. I wish I could say motioning over the receiver worked the same way, but you can't motion over B. I mean, you can motion him over, but he doesn't make the same type of play. And like I said, I like that flat beater. You know what I'm saying? It's not a huge play, but a lot of times you can catch and run that. And I think I got Montez Sweat covering him, so that's part of the issue. I mean, he's no joke. As far as speed, he's like a 91 speed, so he's getting out there a little bit quicker than most people's will. Like I said, right here, you can see, by the way, he sits down on that route the back. I mean, Montez Sweat, or whoever that is doing a pretty good job of keeping up even with Brown. If it's a cover 3, I'm definitely trying to hit these flat beaters first. Whether it's, the X route, the RB route. Waller, like I said, he's good against cover 3, but he doesn't quite get the separation as he typically might against, because of the bunch. But it's a good play. And ultimately, if I want to, I can just leave the A route where he's at. And it'll have that same effect up cover 3. Like I said, we're just trying to get in that seam. So he actually works a little better up the seam without that motion. So if it's a cover 3, I would say you got your cover 2 side and then streak Waller so that you at least have a cover 3 option. Like I said, though, that's kind of works against the. So against cover 3, I mean, you could streak him, put B on a drag, and then do it like this. So this would be a good look. I mean, even without a cover 3, like this isn't a cover 3. There's that man beating, I'm sorry, that man beating, that flat beating route right there. as I didn't really recognize it quickly. So like I said, do it just like that. Like I said, we're going to get that X and flats. That's what I'm talking about right there. Like I said, he's not quite getting the acceleration that I'm used to. I don't know why, because he is a good athlete. So let's just put it like that. Do the drag. Like I said, if that's right there, I'm going to take it. If I got an athlete, I can make a dude miss, and then I'm making a big catch and run. So that's really what I was expecting right there. So flat him. I'm not going to make the motion. I like the motion, but I can leave him like this. It won't give away where the play's going too. You know what I mean? Like there's an all-out blitz. But you know, without the motion, you obviously have something to do with the. You know, you can just come to the line, fire it off. Like I said, a lot of people pay attention to those motions, and they know that that means where the play is going. So without the motion, you have a much bigger element of surprise. Next up, we got the halfback quick base. Just motion over one of these, either the receiver or the tight end. It doesn't matter, but the tight end won't pull an extra defender over in man coverage, and that just kind of creates a bunch, a little bit of a better blocking setup. You know, in a scenario, I mean, obviously here we got a safety dropping into the box, so that might make things a little bit more difficult because he's coming. But obviously, like I said, the blocking just holds up. I just get outside of it. Here's another safety blitz. Like I said, I should be able to get outside of it though. It shouldn't matter. Like I said, he gets inside and then I get outside of it, but not as much success as the previous play, but a good run. Next up, we got the Z spot. I'm a big fan of spacing switch plays and spacing plays typically. So I like the motion over Brown. My check down, Nelson's going to be a good check down, but I'm going to read this like a spacing switch, where I'm going to read either inside out or outside in. Typically, because of what Brown's doing, I'm just going to read him first. If he's open, I'm going to take it. If the coverage drops on him, the running back will be open underneath it. Like I said, I've never really put out spacing plays. I have a couple in my ebook, but I really think that those are good plays, especially in short yardage situations. Like right there, he sits on that, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw it to the running back. I'm really reading the running back versus that comeback route, and that's really making my determination. I'm also pretty much, you know, it's just like I said, one of these three will be open every time. I'll read those guys, and then I'll go inward to the B route. Like I said, right here, we got the what was that, an outside post route. So you can see the coverage was dropping down. I think it was a man coverage. I'm not 100% sure. So let's watch the replay on that. Like I said, I'm working my way in. I'm looking at the running back. I can see this guy sprinting down to the running back. So that's why I hit him, because I know it's going to be an opening. You know what I mean? It's a man coverage. And since I see him sprinting down to get in place, I know I'm going to have an opening. So here we go, one more time. I can also put A on a smart route to pull that back just a little bit more. So like I said, right there, if he's open, right outside of coverage like that, I'm going to take that. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting close to 10. Like I said, I'll smart route this guy just to pull coverage back even more. That's ultimately the idea. So like I said, right there, Y, as I, oof. So like I said, if I 1-2, I could smart route Waller, smart route the tight end. Looking like a man coverage, the motion will help figure that out, although it's not. So like I said, that outside post, I mean, there's so much stuff pulling down. That outside post is going to get open a lot. So I'll go motion over our smoke route again. Like I said, if he's clear, I'm going to take it. And if he's not, it's going to be that running back. And you can see a lot of times I'll get a blocker too. Like if the receiver can turn to a blocker for me. Although he didn't there. Here we're getting an all-out blitz. Looks like a man blitz. So I'm just going to hold that for the post. The post, I know you didn't catch it, but the post will be the biggest play against man. None of these other routes really beat man, these underneath routes. So when I motion across, if they adjust that looks like man, then I know the A route's going to be key. Like I said right there, I mean, they don't drop down enough. You know what I mean? Like I should really run this from the far left hash mark. Just going to let's do this one more time. So let's get that space and switch. Like I said, they don't sit. If they don't sit on that enough, I'll take that. Although the running back was obviously better play. I just took it because it was immediate. It wasn't necessarily the best call. So here, it looks like it might be a man. I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, that RB route's going to come open right under it anyway. And then they fight for the ball for some reason. I'm getting hoarse. Let's do this one more time.
We're good. Blue 80.
So I'm reading Y first. If it's there, I'm going to take it. If it's not, like right there, that really pulled the coverage. Now, they really held the coverage back, and then the tight end was big above it. So, yeah, the read structure, like I said, Y, running back, and then pretty much Waller. I'm not really taking, like the B route, I'm not really taking. That's a decent check down, too. You have to look there, probably last. But it's really just these three guys. So, like I said, right there. I mean, they're just going to, like I said, I can get a blocker. If I would have used them a little better, I accelerated and just took what I could take. Next up, we got the Z spot and go. Another play where all I'm really going to do is put the X route on a streak, and the Y route is going to get outside of most coverages. You can see right there, I don't know if that was a cover 3 or cover 2, but it doesn't matter. He's going to get outside of it. So whether it's a man, zone, doesn't really matter. All-out blitz, I got to get it out a little bit quicker than I typically want to do. But it's all about that play. It's all about that Y route. So let's do this one more time. Like I said, doesn't matter what the coverage is. He's going to get outside of it or get over it or whatever. Like I said, that's just a really glitchy formation, a really glitchy setup. The B route's a pretty good option, but if he's not open, it's pretty much a screen or bust. And you can see, I mean, you can get some good blocking. Obviously, you have half your offensive line running over to help. But it's not necessarily the most consistent play. But like I said, you do have another option. Oof. But like I said, it's not the most consistent play. You do have other options, as you can see right there. I mean, they were sending the house. So on the other side, I'd say you have some pretty good zone options. The screen typically is a zone option also. But like I said, that B route, that's a good route. That's one of the reasons I had to show this play. I'm looking at him first. If he's open, I'm going to take him. But I'm starting this play staring at the B route. And if it's not there, I'm going screen. It's that simple. As you can see, if you can use your blockers a little bit better than I did, you're going to have a really big play. Next up, out of the gun, empty bunch wide, we have the spacing. So, I mean, you have obvious flat beaters with Y and B. The Y route, I can tell right here, is going to get open right away. You know what I mean? Like, just from the spacing. That's the name of the play, right? But if it's cover 3, I mean, the B route obviously will get open as well. I personally like having a slant on a play like this. But I don't really, you know, the way that the X route is, I'd probably say he'd be the best candidate. On a play like this where I know it's going to be probably a cover 2, you're pretty much just splitting the field in half and reading from right to left. Not really a lot of great, you know, man beater plays on this, so I'm going to, the slant's pretty much it. So if I get a man coverage, I'll pretty much just sit on it. And like I said, right here, I mean, we have, you know, if I hold it long enough, one of these guys is going to get open, then he doesn't hang on to it. But you can see he was open on the play. Really good short yardage type of play as well. Like I said, right here, we just got the A route, you know what I'm saying? We're just reading spacing. That's the idea. You know, we're just, where's the spacing between these plays? They can't cover them all. It's typically how it goes. So here we got a cover 3. Like I said, I'm going to steal that Y route pretty much every time against cover 3. The B route beats cover 3 as well, too, but I don't like the way it's positioned. That's something that if I was positioned a little bit closer, like I said, I'll show you. The B route can get open, but it's just not as instant. You can see right there, I gave the guy a chance. So I'm just going to hit the Y route. It's way easier. Cover 3, cover 4, or whatever, the Y route's going to be a really good option. And then, like I said, just reading spacing once again. You know what I mean? Like, one of these two guys are so close together, typically a linebacker's caught in between them and can't cover both. So that's really the play. Typically, in the spacing routes, the spacing plays that I use, you know, like I said, going from right to left. You know what I'm saying? One of them's going to be open. One of those 4 routes, just scanning the field right to left, is going to be open. That play was the slant, and you can see it's a really good play. Next up, we got the drive Y corner. Another play where all I'm really going to do is put the X route on a streak. The B route will come open underneath more for a lot of help as far as like cover 2 and then like man. But ultimately more is going to beat just about every coverage, so it really doesn't matter. This entire formation has a lot of plays like that where, you know, it's pretty much all it is. I would say, I mean, you have like some decent cover beaters on the other side if you wanted to make this play unique, especially against cover 2, but it's really all about this route. At any point when you're calling pretty much any one of these plays, you're pretty much doing it for this play right here. And then I accidentally hit the wrong button. I accidentally hit the right bumper when I was trying to hit B. I wanted to show off the drag, which was wide open. But it's whatever. So like I said, here we go. Cover 3. Or is it a man? It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? That Y route's going to get out. Ugh. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. It's pretty much just going to be the Y route anyway. He just gets outside of everything. As long as I pass and bullet lead like I want to. That was a tight coverage. I threw it too early. So it's all about the throw. I mean, the route's really glitchy, but it's really all about the throw a lot of times because, you know, the defense just doesn't cover that far to the sideline a lot of times. Next up, we got the drive wheel. So I'm just going to put the X on a streak, and it's a very similar setup to a lot of the plays we've been doing. I'm just looking for that Y route. He's going to get open outside just about every time. He doesn't get open as fast as some other ones, though. That's the thing. Some of these other formations have a much faster opening. The A route's pretty good, too, though. You can see on the other side, like this particular play does have a better option on the opposite side. So while, you know, most of those other plays, I can just stare down the Y route, and I can still kind of do that here. It doesn't get open as quickly as some of the other plays, and then, like I said, the wheel route on the other side is really a really good functional play. So like I said, right there, I mean, we're getting some really unique looks, although there, you know, he caught up after the fact. So this play, like I said, it's not as good as some of the other ones, but the A route, as you can see right there, that really makes up for it. So this particular route combo actually has a little bit, you know, adds a little bit more to it. So like I said, the B route there pulls inside, and then Hogan goes right outside over the top. And it really doesn't matter like what the coverage is. Like right here, there's a cover 3. Hogan's just stealing on the other side. Cover 2, cover 4, pretty much the same thing. Doesn't beat cover 1 or nothing like that. Any man coverages. Any man coverages are pretty much going to have to go over to the Y route. And then we have some really good, we're just stealing this all game. Any zone coverage, he's pretty much going to get outside of it. And then your Y route's pretty much any zone or man. Like I already said, he's just not as fast. This particular play is really more about the A route on the other side than these other ones. You can see that the linebacker gets pulled in from the 2 routes going inside. He gets outside of him on just about any zone. Next up, we got the spot smash. It's pretty much a series of plays where all I really have to do is put McCaffrey here on a streak, and the Y route's going to get outside of most coverages. As you can see right there, they're so close together. In a man coverage, the streak route can get in the way. Against most zone coverages, the streak's going to pull coverage back. Like I said, right, we got another man. I mean, he misses on the jam, and then he's just, you know, this is just going to be pretty much the setup the entire time. You can also put one of these routes on a drag, although I think the best route to do would probably be the B route, just so you can get something. If he gets across the field and gets a cover 2, a lot of times that Y route can have a little bit of trouble with cover 2, can drop back into it, but if the B route pulls it down, then it's problem solved. But this play really, like I said, doesn't really matter what the coverage is. The Y route is typically going to be the play. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Next up, we got the jet pass fake zone. So this is just another, you know, we have another jet sweep play, and they're all pretty good out of this formation. The running back doesn't become a fullback though, which was kind of like one of the better wrinkles. This is a downgraded version compared to the one where the fullback actually turns into a blocker. And once again, you still got to put your fastest guy at this slot receiver spot, but you can see it's not as good without that extra blocker. It's really just I don't want to say a mediocre play, but it just doesn't, you know. Plus, I have a mediocre receiver running it, but it really doesn't have the same you know, edge created by the blocking that you would normally get. So this play, it's a good play to have, but it's not as good as some other plays. Next up, we got the jailbreak screen. This play right here seems like a little bit like an RPO. But you have like the screen option, which to me is probably gonna be the best play, but you also got a slant. So if your user darts off too quickly, you can hit him with a slant. But realistically, I mean, this is the play. The actual screen itself is going to be the most consistent. You just have to watch the user when you run it. Like I said, this is like an RPO to the user. And then if they run like those all-out mans that you see online, you obviously like a double safety blitz like that, you got an easy slant play right there. So like I said, I mean, this is, to me, you know, the blocking holds up, which is somewhat inconsistent at times. The jailbreak screen can be one of the better screen plays. Next up, we got the Y sail. This play right here is really all about the table route to the running back. But if he's not there, I mean, the tight end over the top is usually going to be pretty good. You can also drag the Y route. That's just another good option, especially if it's a man coverage. But you can see like the separation by dragging the Y route is about as good as it's going to get. You're going to have 3 receivers. One of them is going to be open between the tight end, the running back, and the Y route. One of the 3 is going to be open pretty much every time. And you can see how they drop back to the tight end here. You just take the running back. So it's a really simple play, simple read. Just reading the inside receivers. You're not really reading the outside receivers. Although that one outside receiver can do a pretty good job. I mean, that's they're stretching the field mostly, but one of your checkdowns is going to be the square route. You could also, if it's man coverage, you don't really have a lot of man beaters, so you could put them on a comeback route just in case you get a man. Like, you might like right there. I should have threw the A route. I just was trying. I was reading the comeback because I was putting my focus there. But without a doubt, I mean, obviously against zone, the tight end is definitely going to be. It's going to be the tight end, the running back. Like right here, this is. My check down, the square route was coming across the field, but I'm talking too damn much. So since you don't really have a ton of man beaters, you can make that comeback route your man beater, and then I guess that might have been a man coverage. I really wasn't paying attention, talking too much. Let's do that one more time. So that's definitely a zone. So our man. So like I said, that square end's pretty good. You can also make him a comeback route. Except we got the Z spot and go. All I'm going to do is streak the B route. That's it. Now you got your high-low. A, if you see it right away, take it. That'll be good against cover 3, although I got lit up. Cover 3, cover 4. Your RB route will be a man and a cover 3 beater, or cover 2 beater and cover 3 beater. Like right there, that was a cover 3, but they must have been in hard flats. So it's really just, that's pretty much the play. It's just those 2 receivers. Split the field in half. The other side doesn't even matter. You can even block the running back if you want to. Next up out of the gun bunch. We have the spacing switch. So this right here, I typically want to either put this X route on a slant so he can be a man beater. I like to motion out the B route because you can see, I mean, he didn't really have the space there that he would have if I motioned him out. So typically, depending, unless it's like a cover 2, I'll typically motion him out. If it's a man coverage, he won't really beat it anyway. But you can see, motioning him to the side gets him a little bit more space. Still gets lit up by Keanu O'Neal, but you can see he's getting up the sideline a little bit better. But if you leave him in, you're just kind of reading what's he going to do. Like right there, So you pretty much have, I mean, your best man beater is going to be the slant. And then you have all these other routes out here. If it's a cover 3, especially cover 4, he's going to get outside. But it's just a really, you'll steal yards this way easy. You're not going to hit any home runs or anything, but it's a really good play. I like the motion snap them too. As you can see right there. I mean, sometimes accuracy is an issue right there. I only got 5 because of the accuracy. But, and I don't even have to pass block the running back because this gets open so quickly, I don't really have to worry about it. And then right there, anytime they all sit, man sits on the zone. So anytime you have a man coverage and these guys, they'll just start sitting on these routes, that's when the man coverage comes into play. As you can see right here. They're all just sitting down, and you got that big play over the top of man. So left side, man. Right side, you got all zones. This B route will get open under anything but cover 2. Looking like it's not a cover 2. I had the tight end right there too, but obviously this is my better athlete for a possible catch and run scenario, so I'm going to go there. Next up, we got the bench pivot. So this play right here, I mean, I don't really have to make any adjustments. I like the X route. That's going to be my first read. It's just a unique looking read structure with it's basically just a cover 2 concept, but you can tell it looks a little bit different. You can put the RB route on a streak, and it'll help pull those coverages. But ultimately, I'm just going, like I said, it's a cover 2 play. I mean, you got Olsen, who's your deep cover 2 play, and then you got your out route, which is your cover 3 play. Next up, out of the bunch, shotgun bunch offset, we got the PA dig fork. So this play here, I'm going to pass block the running back, put the X route on a comeback route, and that's really all I need to create a one-play touchdown against cover 3. As you can see, the cover 3 corner really sticks to that comeback route, letting the crossing route get over the top. That will also beat cover 1 man the exact same way. So that's pretty much the read right there. I have a check and release option route where if I want to, if say I need a check down for whatever reason, I could always just hit the A button and release them to a flat route. Let's go and let's do that one time because you can see the home run play is working really well. But like I said, say I need a release, you know, there's nobody covering them. Just that'll bail me out. So that's basically my check down. The comeback route's a really good check down as well. Not necessarily against cover 3 as much, but if I choose the wrong play, like say it's a cover 2 or something, or a man, you know, and I don't have time, a lot of times that comeback route will be really good as well. I can also drag the RB route. He's doing I like his route. I like the route that Hogan's doing, but in a cover 3, it's not really going to do me too much. So it does get outside. I mean, it's an option, as you can see, but it's a really tight window. You can put Hogan on a drag or a comeback route. Give yourself a check down as well. You know, because he's going to get across. He gets across the field really quickly on a drag, which is not necessarily what I want. You know what I mean? But it's still an option. So you have something to throw to if you don't have the home run.